dish up Chris over here. Kind of, there we go. And then we're just gonna have a nice green salad, and then this will be my little piece. Hey, hi you guys, this is Amy Roloff in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. Oh my gosh, I just realized I don't have an apron on. I'm gonna have to go get one because I usually do not cook without an apron. Anyway, I feel like it's been a while since I've been in my kitchen. Got back from Palm Springs with my two girlfriends, Lisa and Deb. And I tell you, the next 4 days, I felt very unmotivated. I am not sure why. So I think I'm back into it. Back into my kitchen, my little comfort zone, and I'm pretty excited about it. It was a gorgeous day out here in the Northwest Portland, Oregon area. So I did a little bit of gardening, and I'm here to tell you, I'm not exactly a gardener. That's why I love farmers markets. Anyway, but I do love herbs, and I really love fresh herbs, and they can be very expensive, you know, in the grocery store or whatever. And so if you do have a chance to go out to your farmers market, you know, throughout the summer, go do it, you know, and buy from them, local farmers. They put a lot of time, work, effort, everything into growing what they do. But anyway, so really all I have is my herb garden. However, I don't think my parsley came back very well. It came up, you know, too stalky and stuff like that. My oregano, it's like, why aren't the leaves like green, like springtime green, but they look like it was already in the middle of summer towards late summer. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my rosemary. It's like, wait a minute, you should be like this like green, this hardy, foresty green type of rosemary. No, it had a lot of yellow. Oh, I was so bummed. And because we don't have the best soil here at the house. I mean, the farm really didn't have the best either. That's why raised beds were good. Anyway. So I do have my herb garden in pots. So I'm digging out. I mean, the roots look good, but the plant didn't. So I'm ripping all those out. Got some new oregano plants, chives, parsley, thyme, rosemary, basil. I have some mint. A little bit of lavender, but I don't think it's the eating lavender. So anyway, I'm gonna start off with that. So I don't have them planted yet. It took enough of a workout to dig all the dirt out of the pots and stuff like that. So the whole point being is I just came in from out of there, prepped a lot of stuff here, and this is gonna be a very, very simple chicken dinner. Because it's already late here and I didn't want something that took up a lot of time. So I was talking to some of the people that, you know, kind of helped me out like in putting up the videos and social media. And so they suggested lemon pepper chicken. I thought lemon pepper chicken. Lemon goes great with chicken. I love chicken piccata, lemon chicken. So we're gonna have lemon pepper. So what do you think the ingredients are? Lemon and pepper, a lot of it. So that's what we're gonna have today. I pounded the chicken. I did not, because this was last minute thinking, so I did not like slice the chicken in half. A lot of times that doesn't work for me. I'm trying to slice it. You know what? I probably should get my knife sharpened. That would be the key. Anyway, it always comes out uneven. So really what I did here, I pounded it. And sometimes pounding it very thin because you really want a thin chicken here. Because this is gonna cook up very quickly, probably about, especially with what I've done here, maybe 3 to 5 minutes on each side and you're done. The sauce will be nice and lemony and butter. Maybe I'll add in a little bit of chicken broth to kind of round it out a little bit. And then I've got some minced garlic here. I didn't have already made lemon pepper salt seasoning, so I'm making my own. So I zested about 2.5 lemons here. They were left over in the fridge. So I've got that. Minced up about 2-3 cloves of garlic. Here's the juice from the lemon. So that's gonna be incorporated in the sauce, which will taste really good. And we're just gonna really do a simple penne pasta. I think linguine or angel hair would really work well here. But I thought, okay, let's carry it over from the chicken and let's go with a lemon pasta. Rice would be great here as well. I think in a cooking video I did, I paired it with the Mediterranean. Why I can't pronounce it, I have no idea. Anyway, I made chicken thighs with the Mediterranean spices, and I paired that with lemon rice, because lemon is used a lot in that kind of cooking too. I didn't do a lot of olives because Chris doesn't like olives. Anyway, so you could pair this with rice too, but I thought pasta will be good. And then I'm just gonna have a green salad, and that's really our dinner tonight because I've got to get going with it staying lighter out now. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't it just 5:30? No, people, it's 7:30. We're gonna be eating late tonight. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna have to have a glass of white wine. First of all, let me get my apron on. Okay, so I've got my chicken pounded, or if you are very good at this, have very sharp knives, which reminds me, probably should have sharpened mine a little better. I just pounded this out, or you can just slice the thick piece of chicken in half, and that'll help thin it out as well. Okay, I'm gonna finish up zesting this lemon here, because I wanna make sure I do not waste any zest on this lemon before I juice it. Now for me, this handy dandy little device I absolutely love, because with smaller hands, not as long fingers, people, I cannot squeeze it with my hand. Oops, don't put it in the zest, Amy. So we're just gonna squeeze. You know, this is really gonna sound terrible, but every time I squeeze a lemon like this, I think I should do my butt exercises, get my butt in shape. Why that came to my mind, I really don't know, but it did. Sorry about that. But I love this device. I love it. Okay, we had a small interruption because Chris got a phone call. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, I finished juicing the lemon. Here's lemon zest. So let's go ahead and make our lemon pepper. And if you already have the seasoning mix already, you know, like you bought it in the grocery store, just add about a tablespoon, maybe 2, in about a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/3 cup of flour. But it really depends on how much chicken you have, because we're just gonna lightly flour the chicken, but we're gonna season our flour. Wait a minute. We're gonna lightly flour our chicken, but first we need to season our flour before we do the chicken. So, okay, we have, let me see here. Yeah, here, we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. I'm gonna reserve just a little bit. Let me get a fork, that'll work well. Because obviously the lemon zest is wet, so the flour will kind of get it all in there so you don't have all these different clumps. So I have about 2 big tablespoons of lemon zest. Hopefully you get enough. And this came from 2.5 lemons. So here we go. Oh, now Felix has got a toy. Yeah, I haven't played with him at all today. That's his signal like, hello, I'm bored. Where's my pepper? Then we're gonna do because this is lemon pepper. We're gonna do, look at that, lots of pepper. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and add all of the lemon zest. We're gonna just make sure that this gets all incorporated in the chicken. And whatever else is left over, it's gonna go in the salad dressing because we're having a green salad. Salt. Where is salt? Here's salt. And the one thing I really like about making your own is that you can really kind of monitor the salt, but we're gonna try and balance this out. So maybe a tablespoon of salt. Let's stir this all around. I think the pepper's gonna make me sneeze. Oh dear. Okay, I just really want to mix this all in. So, like I said, so the lemon zest gets all the flour on it and it's not in clumps. So each piece of chicken definitely will have pepper, but also will have the lemon zest. Okay. Let's get our pan heated up and we're gonna go over to the stove and start doing our chicken. Okay, I have my pan heating here and hopefully it'll be hot enough. And because this is a Teflon pan, I'm not gonna put a lot of oil because I really want the chicken to brown. And to tell you the truth, I really hesitated on my other pan, which is stainless steel, for this. Because the chicken is so thin, I didn't want it to stick to the pan. And my pasta's almost done. This is almost done. Okay, this is where I need patience. I thought it was a little more, I thought it was more hot than this. So we'll just give it a moment. Oh yeah, now it is. Whenever you can see the oil, it looks like it's shrinking up or going to the side, that means we're good. I'm gonna turn my pasta off for a minute. Okay, so we got our lemon, floured lemon here. We're just gonna make sure. Maybe I should have dried. You know, I think I'm gonna wet the chicken just a little bit so the flour has something to adhere to. Sorry about that. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I wanted the flour to really stick to the chicken, so the chicken needed to be a little wet. So as you can tell, some of these pieces are big, some of them aren't. They're not gonna look all pretty and nice and evenly like shaped, but you know what? It's still gonna be good. So I'm not gonna get so hung up that they're not all perfect. First one in there is probably already done. So what did I say? Just about 3 or 2 minutes? 3 minutes on each side. Make sure some of that oil gets all over every piece. And if you need to put a little oil on it, go right ahead. Especially for the other side. So I'm going to test this out here. I'm going to drizzle a little bit oil, a little more oil. Kind of get that going. It's on high heat. Anyone ready? Is anybody ready? Oops. No, not quite. I don't want to crowd this though. But they're such small little pieces. Here we go, one of the two last little pieces. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to wait till these are done. Let's see if we can flip them over. Nope. Now we can. Kind of a nice golden brown. Flour definitely is soaking up. Okay. So once these are done, I'm gonna do these last two and then that's it. So Chris has joined me and guess what? He's hungry.
I'm nibbling.
Yes.
What are you doing next?
Okay, what I'm doing next, I'm gonna saute the garlic a little bit here. So I have about a tablespoon or more, just a little bit of olive oil, some of the juices from cooking the chicken. Just gonna, oh, you guys, I would stick 5 more cloves in here if I could.
I like the smell of that too.
Maybe I should make this garlic chicken, huh?
No.
No? Oh, it'd be so good. I'm just gonna add just a tad more butter. And I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of chicken stock in here. I'd say about 1/4 cup. So basically what we're doing is going to make a little bit of a sauce. This will thicken up a little bit, and because this is all about lemon pepper, guess what, babe?
Yeah?
Can you hand me that lemon juice over there?
I can.
Thank you. They can't see you because you're so tall. But anyway, about a tablespoon or more. We're just going to add a little bit of that. We're just going to heat this up a little bit, and then we're going to add the chicken. Oh yeah, see how it's just slightly thickening up. Isn't that kind of funny how that works?
That is funny.
I tell you, the butter. Oh, butter. Butter is the...
No margarine, huh?
No, butter. Butter. To me, butter is like, almost like the diamond of cooking. And olive oil. Olive oil is good. So, I've got the brown chicken. I'm just going to kind of nestle these in this little sauce here. I've got my pasta is done, and so all I have to do now, this is a little hot. All I have to do now is finish up the salad. And it's not a lot of sauce. I mean, if you want it more, it's, you know, you can do that. You just want a little bit. And I've already done, I've already put a little bit of lemon juice in the pasta. And see all those juices? Oh, feel free to add those. That's all about flavoring. Flavoring, babe.
Boy, I'm going to have a lot of dishes to do now, aren't I? I get to do cleanup.
Oh, and you know what? I am so grateful that Chris does clean up. Because, you know, when you do all of this, meaning not cooking, but a lot of the video, when you're doing all this video yourself.
Well, I'm happy to do it. My cleanup is a fraction of the time that you put into making it. You know?
Well, babe, I'm hoping this is good, so.
Well, it smells good.
Anyway, we're almost ready to eat.
Oh, good.
Oops. And there we have it. Just a little bit of sauce on there. You know, just scoop it a little bit with your spoon. Just so each little piece has some of that lemon flavor. Because the title is Lemon Pepper Chicken. Oh, so good. Okay, the chicken is done. I'm going to kind of look at that. Isn't that a nice brown lemony pepper? I already tasted a piece. I think it tastes very good. And so the pasta, I just had penne pasta in my pantry. I didn't want to open up a big, I think linguine or angel hair would have been very nice on here. But I used some of the pasta water and I used some of the leftover lemon juice that I didn't put in with the chicken and butter. And so the the pasta is also incorporating that lemon flavor along with butter. I mean, who can resist butter? And then just a little parsley to dress it up. So I am going to go ahead and dish up Chris over here. Kind of, there we go. And then we're just gonna have a nice green salad, and then this will be my little piece. And so there we have it. We have lemon pepper chicken with pasta. I hope you give this a try. So from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you keep enjoying gathering around your kitchen table. So find this recipe over on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or you can go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. So I hope you give this a try. It's a very simple recipe. It's quick, and it's very, very good. I'm gonna cut it this way. So this will be Chris's. You can have chips with this. This is a great, like summertime meal. You make these ahead of time. They'll still keep warm. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Hey, hi, I'm Amy and I'm in my little kitchen. So thanks for joining me. Well, I am gonna try and do this really quick, what I'm gonna make today, because today is officially Jackson's birthday, but we celebrated it, this past weekend, and his birthday is really right around Mother's Day. So anyway, Zachary just called me because I was so busy trying to catch up on work. He called me and said they're gonna do a little cake thing for his birthday. I'm like, oh my gosh, this just gives me maybe about a half hour to get dinner on the table. So anyway, I'm gonna try. I can't say never. I probably did it, but it was too, I don't know, cumbersome. I'm gonna make chicken fried sandwiches. So I think the thing I'm intimidated by it is because you gotta cook with oil and fry it. I don't have an air fryer or any of that, so we're gonna go old school. So in my pot over here, I have about as much oil as I have on hand, because it's only Chris and I that I'm making the sandwiches for. So right now I have some pieces of chicken that are kind of marinating in like a buttermilk. I added a little bit of salt, garlic, a little bit of hot sauce. And if you wanted, you could add a little bit of other seasonings or pepper, but it's also gonna go in the flour mixture. So they're kind of, I don't know. I guess if I can be cute, they're kind of taking a bath in buttermilk. I know, it sounds kind of nice. It's kind of like soft and creamy or whatever. But anyway, so they've been sitting here for about 20 minutes. I would go minimum 30. I'm gonna try and last 30 minutes. But I'm hoping that I can get this on the table in 1/2 hour. I don't know, because I don't have that much time. So I went ahead and grilled some ciabatta buns. I think they're really good for chicken sandwiches because they are a little bit chewy, but they'll hold up to the chicken as well and not like crush the bun, even if you do toast it. So I've got ciabatta buns right here. I think that would be good. So let's get going on our flour mixture. Oh yeah, I guess I should measure this out, huh? Okay, so I should measure it out. I'm gonna start off with a cup. And I can't imagine it taking more than a cup of flour. I would almost say half a cup. And the reason I say that is because I'm only making this for Chris and I. So this is probably overdoing it. Probably say a 1/2 to 3/4 cup, but I'm just gonna add a cup of flour in here. Then I'm gonna add, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of salt. I forgot my little measuring spoons. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Well, let's make it 2. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That way I'll make it crunchy plus, no, it'll make it fluffy. But I'm also going to add cornstarch. Now I've read a variety of stuff online, and cornstarch will help keep it crispy as well. So we're going to add, let's see, how much is 1/4 cup? About 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of cornstarch. We're going to see how this goes. I guess if it doesn't work, I guess you guys won't see the video. So anyway, so I have 1 cup of cornstarch here. Where's my pepper? A little bit of pepper. Then all the other flavorings. I'm going to add a little, I don't want onion powder, but a little bit of garlic. And then Old Bay seasonings, because that has a lot of goodness in it too. I'm going to try and fry shrimp up with this. Let me taste it. Oh yeah, just not too much of this. 1/2 teaspoon maybe. And to add a little heat, I think this has enough heat in it. Okay, I guess this is it. I'm gonna add just a dash of cayenne pepper, because I think this will provide enough smokiness. It's Old Bay. Then we're just going to use one of these measuring spoons, stir it all up. I don't know. I don't think this has enough seasonings in it. Definitely for the amount of chicken that I have here, 1 cup of flour was probably way too much. So I'd probably go maybe about 3/4, 1/2 cup of flour, and back off on the cornstarch and maybe go 1/4 cup. So it really depends on how much chicken you're doing. I'm gonna add a little more garlic. So probably, by the time I did that, close to 1 tablespoon. A little more of this. I think it needs a little more salt. Because if you're going to add seasoning to it, you want the chicken to pop with it. I'd say definitely with 1 cup of flour and all this cornstarch, definitely 1 tablespoon of garlic powder and 1 tablespoon of Old Bay. I don't think I need any more pepper. See, I told you guys I'm kind of winging it. And it might be I'm winging it because I'm in such a hurry. I hate cooking when I'm in a hurry. But you know, sometimes life dictates that. I mean, how am I going to miss my grandson's just saying happy birthday on his actual birthday? Okay, I'm going to get a thermometer and see what the temp of my oil is right now. Okay, here we go. Let me see here. I lost my thermometer. It is smoking. So let's see where we're at here on the temperature. I'm gonna let it cool down just a little bit because I think my oil is a little bit too hot. So, let's try 1 piece. How about that? Move all this stuff here. Okay, do I have everything? Okay, I'm gonna try 1 piece. I'm gonna really try and pat it down in this flour. Okay, here we go. Just gonna gently, because I'm afraid. Boy, it's bubbling. Ooh. Okay, I think I got it out in the nick of time. I think my oil is a little bit hot because it probably should stay in there for a little bit. But because it is so hot, I think the chicken is done. Oh, yummy. In fact, I can turn this down. Okay, let's try another one. So I'm just taking it out of the buttermilk, dredging it in the flour, just really patting it down because I want to really make sure that the flour sticks to the chicken. Okay, here we go again. Ooh, it's bubbling. I have the oil turned off. Because once you do a couple of pieces, the oil will cool down. And then I'm putting the chicken on a piece of paper towel to drain. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Number 2. Okay, I hope this is working. So it can go anywhere from about 3, could be 5 minutes, but I would say about 3 minutes on each side. Okay, here's one. In fact, I think what I'm going to do here is, there we go. I can tell the oil's cooling down. I'm doing one piece at a time because I don't want to crowd this. And also because I'm a little intimidated. Oh yeah, nope, didn't do it long enough. Oh yeah, this is going well. This is going very well. Okay, it definitely helps to have the right temperature. So it's about 350, 360 degrees. I gotta be patient for this. Okay, there we go. We got a couple more pieces here. I'm so excited for this. There we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. it's frying. Looking good. Not yet. Okay, I think it's almost time to turn it over. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, I am almost done. We just got a little bit of scraggly pieces of chicken, but it's still good. So I'm going to turn off my oil here because I am done. Just let it drain for a minute. And see? Ooh, this wasn't so bad. Except in the beginning, my oil was a little too hot. It's good not to have too hot of an oil, and the reason that is because the outside will cook, but the inside won't. The outside will cook too quick, but it won't give it a chance to cook the inside. So, let's make our sandwiches. Okay, I'm done making the chicken, fried chicken. It wasn't so bad. Like I said over there, in the beginning it was a little rough because I think I had the oil way too hot of a temperature. And that cannot be a good thing because your oil could really splatter all over the place and cause a whole big mess. And the other thing is that it cooks the food too quickly on the outside, but you don't have a chance to cook it on the inside. So, not a good thing. So about 350 degrees oil, about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and it should work. But I'm excited for this. So like I said, I toasted the buns. I'm gonna lay a chicken piece on here for Chris. Where's my knife? I don't really have lettuce, so that will be okay. I'm not sure if he likes a dill on this, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna lay just little pieces of cheese on here. You don't have to do that. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of coleslaw that I kind of whipped up real quick. And if I thought about it, I would have put parsley in with the coleslaw just to add a little green. I don't know, can you guys see me here? And then to make sure it's not too dry, some of the sauce that I had for the coleslaw, I went ahead and added a little bit more mayo and a little bit of seasonings. Just to give it a little more flavor. Or you could just plop this with lettuce too. I mean, that works. So here we go. Ooh, let me get a sharp knife. Hopefully this will work. Ooh, I'm excited to try this, but since this is Chris's sandwich, I can't take a bite. I know you guys all keep asking me to try my food, but usually I'm so rushed getting it on the table. So anyway, this will be Chris. Let me make up mine and I'll take a bite of mine. Let's see here, what piece should I have? Boy, this looks thick. Here, this is a good one. And maybe I'll add this one here. Maybe this should be Chris's. I think this is Chris. Add a couple of pieces of cheese on there. There we go. A little bit of coleslaw. And I think we're gonna be ready to go. You guys, I am so excited I gave this a try because frying in oil kind of intimidates me. And this wasn't so bad, even in a rush. Oh yeah, the sauce, a little bit of the sauce. Just so the chicken's not too dry. I highly doubt it, but you know. Ooh. And because there were 2 pieces of chicken that way, I'm gonna get a different knife. Here's a better one. I'm gonna cut it this way. So this will be Chris's. You can have chips with this. This is a great, you know, like summertime meal. You make these ahead of time. They'll still keep warm. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. It is so good. Here, I'm gonna take a bite of mine. I have to, you guys. I just have to. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. The crunch and crispiness of the chicken, plus with the coleslaw on top, so good. So from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you give crispy fried chicken sandwiches a try. There's a variety of stuff that you can add to it. You don't have to add the cheese, but if you do, that's great too. If not, I think it's great just by itself with a little bit of lettuce and a spicy mayo on top and a dill pickle. So, from my little kitchen to yours, go to my YouTube channel at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or you can always find it at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. So, keep gathering around the table and cooking in the kitchen. Bye. I had to have Chris join me.
She had to.
I did. So this is carrot cake, and I think this is my 3rd attempt. So let me know what you think.
Keep trying, I always say.
Well, hi, I'm Amy, and I'm in my little kitchen, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. And I'm so glad you're here. It is a bright, sunny day outside, and I haven't made this cake in a very, very long time. And so this is, I think, my 3rd attempt at making this. My first time that I recently made this, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did not have a big enough cake pan for the amount of cake that I was making. And it spilled over, it didn't set, and all this stuff. It was a big mess in my oven. I think the other time, I don't know if I read my own direction wrong or whatever I found on the internet, but baking powder, because of the raisins being, you know, that's a heavy element in a nice fluffy cake, or the carrots or something, but the baking powder made the cake so light and fluffy that it kind of sunk and it didn't hold up well. And I'm like, okay, Amy, you've got this. You can do this. Go back to your recipe, look at it, try and understand all the liquid and the butter and the flour and, you know, all that other stuff. So now I have the right size cake pan. I'm eliminating the baking powder, and I'm hoping this version of carrot cake will turn out very, very well. Well, because it's just Chris and I mean, I love sweets, I love baking, but obviously I would be a bigger blimp than I am right now if I ate everything that I made. So often when I make a sweet or cookies or something like that, I'll say, oh, Audrey, Jeremy, are you guys home? What are you doing? They'll say, well, yeah, we're home. Why? And I said, oh, I just have a little something to bring on over to you. And I'll bring half of what I'm making over there. So if I make 2 dozen cookies, they're probably getting at least 18 of them. Or I'll call up Zach and Tori. And it's funny, Zach is not much of a sweet eater, I don't think. There's only a couple of things that he really likes. And I don't think Jackson is either, but I think Tori likes, you know, a sweet here and there. And so I'll call them, hey, what are you guys doing, Zach and Tori? Are you home? Can I come on over? And I'll give them it. The whole point being, I make desserts because I love it, and I like to have a little bit of it, or when people are coming over or from my family. But right now, for the next couple of days, the day that I'm making this carrot cake, Molly is here for a little bit. So I'm glad to share this with her. And she's going over to Jeremy and Audrey's house to see them and her niece, Ember, and nephew, Bodie. So I'm going to tell her, hey, can you take half this carrot cake over to them? And because Jeremy really likes carrot cake too. So anyway, I don't know why I had to share all that, but I just felt like it because this is my little kitchen and I love to cook for myself, but I think it's more fun and it puts a little love and a little extra feeling and interest or whatever when I'm doing this for somebody else. So usually it's my family, my friends, or I want to bring something over just for a stranger, a neighbor or someone who is kind of like housebound or something like that, and maybe they would like this. So anyway, let's get going and make this carrot cake in Amy Roloff's little kitchen. Thank you for joining me. So Amy in Amy Roloff's little kitchen, we are making carrot cake. I have about almost 3 cups of shredded carrot, and some people I've heard grate their carrot, and it's a finer specks of carrot within your cake. So it's the finer part of your, unless you use a food processor too. I don't know why I often do this by hand because I do have a food processor. Sometimes I think for me it's the process of climbing up my step stool, getting the food processor out, and I don't know, I think I have to find a newer food processor, maybe lighter but still does the job. Anyway, I'm gabbing, sorry about that. But I didn't do this. I really like little specks of carrot, but I decided to do the thicker shredded carrot. So I'm hoping that will work. This is 3 cups of that. I might decrease it to maybe about 2 cups if I think it's too much carrot, because you know, I think when you're making a cake, you don't want too much of the extra stuff because the cake won't have enough to hold itself together, and then layering it with the frosting and everything. So anyway, I've got 3 cups here. I might decrease it to about 2. I have about a half a cup of golden raisins. You can use the darker raisins too, but I think golden raisins are just as sweet and it has a little bit more subtlety in the color. And then a lot of warm spices. Oh, I just love the smell of this. So I have nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger. What else do I have? I'm looking on my little note, my little cheat sheet, I guess you could call it. So yeah, I have ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. If you want a different warm spice, it could be just a hint of cloves, or I wouldn't necessarily say allspice. What else is there? Nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, ginger. I think I'm missing something, but I can't think of it. Anyway, I have ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon in here. About 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, about a half a tablespoon of ginger because I didn't want the ginger to overpower it. And I think ginger and carrots really work well together. And I have maybe about a quarter, if not a little bit more, of nutmeg, freshly grated nutmeg. So anyway, then I've got some buttermilk here if I didn't leave that out long enough, prepping everything. And then what else do I have? About 2.5 cups of flour. Oops, I forgot a little salt. I have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, half a cup of butter, a half a cup of oil right here, 3 eggs, and then you can do 2 cups of sugar, I believe. I think white sugar will probably make your cake a little bit more sweeter. I chose to go 1 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of regular sugar, white granulated sugar. So we'll see how this all comes out, people. Tighten that thing up. So let's get going and cream our butter. In fact, I forgot my paddle thing. And in the meantime, I'll bring out my little spatula here. I know it's such a nice day outside. Normally I'd go out there and catch a little rays because it has been unusually warm, sunny, gorgeous in the Pacific Northwest or the Portland area for April. The high 50s, low 60s are coming back for a little bit. Anyway, let's get going. We're gonna cream the butter. Give that, you know, a little bit of time there. Then we're gonna add in the sugar, the eggs, I believe the oil, and then the vanilla. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. I wanted to make sure. There's not much butter here, so it's not gonna take that long. But I'm gonna break up the sugar a little bit. Just so the mixer doesn't have to work so hard to break it up. Okay, here we go. I really don't know why, because I'm using the regular beater thing in my mixer. Some spilt, but it always jerks around like this. And I don't know if something got loose because I have not had this mixer for very long. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, I'm just gonna scrape down the bottom just to make sure the butter and the sugar gets all incorporated. One of these days, I'm gonna get myself a glass bowl because I think the metal, depending on what you have in it or whatever, it kind of either warms up or stays too cold, and you're supposed to have everything at room temperature. Whoa. So here we go. The butter and the sugar are doing their thing. I'm gonna turn this down just a tad and add a room temperature egg one at a time. Oh yeah, I forgot. I should really do this in a little dish. Here, hang on. I like the clear one. Just in case if I get any shells in it, or in my opinion, sometimes the egg doesn't look great. One more. Whoops. Oh, we definitely don't want the whole shell to be in it. There we go. I'm gonna just turn this up one more little notch, just to make it all nice and fluffy with the butter, the sugar, and the egg. I mean, who doesn't like to bake? I definitely get intimidated by baking, but I will never give up, never. I'm just gonna make sure that things from the side of the bowl are also mixed in. Okay. Give that a few more minutes before I add in the oil and the vanilla. Yeah. Whew. See, I think it's looking good, if you can see it. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Because even though the carrots may feel dry, they will have a little bit of moisture too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in a half a cup of oil. Slowly just drizzle it in. Aren't these kind of cute? Look at that. I kind of love fun kitchen accessories, especially if they're colorful and have at least a little handle on it. think I got oil all over my hands. And then I think, what, a teaspoon of vanilla? What do I have here? Yeah, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, or a teaspoon. I'm gonna add in 2. I mean, baking vanilla, can't go wrong with that. 1, 2. I eyeballed it. So while that is going, I have 2.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna add in my baking soda, which is 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then all of my warm spices, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, about 2. Well, no, I said 2 teaspoons of baking soda, I hope. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 tablespoons. I probably added a little bit more of cinnamon in it. About a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger and about 1/4 of nutmeg. Those are some very nice warm. Oops, I forgot I should have got another spatula out. Just gonna mix that in a little bit, and I do have some salt. All right. Just want to really make sure I add everything. Since this is my 3rd time making this cake, I don't know, about a 1/2 teaspoon, no, about 1/4, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Yeah, I think that should be enough. Just make sure all this is mixed in. There you go. I'm just gonna, I forgot I already had this in the batter. Just make sure that's all. Okay, we're just gonna slowly add in the flour. I forgot to tell you, because I'm just remembering what to do here. I'm gonna add in a little bit of the flour. I have about 3/4 cup of buttermilk. I'm gonna add in 1/2 of the buttermilk. Get that going in there. Then I'm gonna add in a little bit more flour. About 1/3 of it. This will be another 1/3. Then I'm going to add in the rest of the buttermilk. And make sure all this is okay. Going to make sure it's scraped down from the sides again before I add this last part of the flour. Yeah. Sometimes I don't think the beater gets down to the very bottom of your mixing bowl, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I guess that wasn't very slow, but it's the last 1/3. So we're just gonna mix that up until it's just combined, and then we'll fold in our carrots and our raisins. Okay, I went ahead and greased and floured my cake pans. Now I'm going to just hopefully fold in my carrots. I'm only going to do about, I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to start off with 2 cups because there's 3 cups in here. Okay, I think that's about 2 cups. And I'm going to see if that's enough for me. So I'm just going to try and fold this in. Because, I mean, it is carrot cake. You want carrots in it. Try and get the bottom. Get some of this below. There you go. I'm gonna try and not overmix it. I'm gonna add in a little bit more. So it's not quite 3 cups. I think that'll be enough. Lord willing. Then I'm going to add in my 1/2 cup of golden raisins. And I just wanted a sprinkling of raisins. I didn't want each slice of cake to be, you know, just raisins and carrot. I mean, you do want to taste a little bit of the cake. Okay, I'm hoping I did not overmix this. I'll try and add half the batter there. See how I'm scraping down the bowl? I'm going to spread this out. I need a little more here. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's baking with my mom or what, but I like to get every little bit. And I'm sure some people may feel like they need to put nuts in here, and you can. I wouldn't drown it with nuts, but pecans I think are really good if you want to put nuts in a cake. If not, I save that for the frosting. And I know some people who have put pineapple in their carrot cake. I don't know, I just choose not to. I'm going to try and smooth this out as best I can. A little bit there. And that is pretty much the last of the cake. Okay. 300, I have an oven preheated at 350 degrees. And we are going to put this in, how long? I would say most likely it's going to be about 30 minutes, but I would check it at 25 just to see what your oven's doing. And then if you need to go a little bit longer, go a little bit longer, but test it with like a toothpick. And if it comes out kind of moist but not wet and too clingy, I think you've got a cake. So I'm going to tap this, just tap this a little bit on the counter. Just make sure I get the air pockets out. I think we're ready, set to go. So 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. I'd check it at 25, but if you need a little bit more time, do it. So I will see you back in my little kitchen in about 30 minutes, okay? All right. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to make the cream cheese frosting for what I hope is a very good and luscious carrot cake. I just pulled it out of the oven, so I'm gonna obviously let it cool for a little bit before I frost it. But because of the dark, warm spices, ooh, it smells good. So let us get going on the cream cheese. What I've got going on here is about a half a cup of butter. I have, I think, let me go to my notes. I'm so paranoid on this cake because the first time, oh my gosh, or the second time, anyway, I have about a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. I thought with the carrot cake and it being kind of that warm spices, not a rustic cake, I think having the brown sugar would really be great. So I'm gonna mix in the butter, the 1/3 cup of brown sugar, the cream cheese, 2 packages, so 8 ounces each of cream cheese. Well, it's gonna be a layered cake, so I need a lot. A splash of vanilla. And I've got 7 cups of powdered sugar. Let's see if we need all of that. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure why I'm not using my mixer, but a hand mixer. Maybe because I didn't clean it up yet from the cake. So we're gonna whip this up. I love this hand mixer because it's pretty powerful and has a lot of speed. There we go. I'm gonna blend this up till it's nice and fluffy before I start adding in the powdered sugar. Talk about arm muscles. Probably because this is up so high. Okay, I'm gonna start adding in the powdered sugar. This does feel a little thick, so hopefully it won't be too thick, because I think sometimes with too thick of frosting, once you start smearing it, it can kind of, you know, tear the cake. So we'll see. Maybe I'll add in a little bit more butter or a little bit of milk to just loosen it up a little bit, but we'll see. So here's the first cup. I'm gonna add a 2nd cup. Getting smooth. Then I'm gonna keep continuing to add a cup at a time just to see how the frosting will go. But if I need to, which I think I'm gonna have to, is maybe a tablespoon of cream or half and half or milk, just to kind of break it up just a little bit. Okay, well, obviously I have changed. I'm Amy in my little kitchen. I had to take a break and stop to be able to finish up this cake because I had to go film. We're in our final filming for this season for Little People Big World. Anyway, so I took the cake out of the oven. Nice, you know, with some of the warm spices, it, you know, turns the cake into a nice golden, you know, color. So I'm really excited about it. I think it turned out great. It feels good. It feels firm, not too soft or light that it's not going to be able to, you know, hold up to the frosting. I went ahead and made the cream cheese frosting. 2 8-ounce things of cream cheese, 7 cups of powdered sugar, a half a cup of butter, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of salt, and I think that's about it. But always go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com or go to the YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen YouTube channel, to find this recipe and the video. And that way the recipe could be more accurate than the video, because sometimes I forget what I'm doing. Anyway, this is a one-woman show. So let's start frosting. Okay, I'm just gonna put a glob on here. I think this will be the easy part. Oh yeah, I like how the cake is holding up to it. So we're just gonna smooth it, make sure it's all even. And the one thing I like about this cake is that there is no little cone or little crest to the cake where you have to slice it off in order to have kind of like a nice leveled cake. So I'm really liking that. Just smooth it out. I think this was good. Cream cheese frosting. Okay, let's try and get the top part of it. I probably should have a plate, but I'm gonna see if I can do this on my hand. Oh yeah, there we go. I think I'm gonna do this. Jeez, I hope I have enough frosting. I wanted to make sure I had that one little spot. You know, you want every little piece of the cake to taste wonderful. I think I'm just going to add just a little bit around the edges here. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. I think that's it. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Then I'm going to use this handy tool, or there's a lot of other tools you can use too. Like I said, I'm not a full-fledged baker, but I'm giving it my best shot. Just going to put a glob on here. And if some of it rolls off the edge, that's okay too, because it's going to go down the side. Isn't the newest thing in a cake the bare frosting or whatever they call it? Tell the truth, I'm really surprised at how level this cake is. Okay, let's try and do some of the sides. I'm going to use this handy little tool. Let's get this out of the way. In fact, I might even have some frosting left over. I don't know. How can you have frosting left over? Okay, I don't know why my edges aren't quite. Because I thought this was good frosting. I think it's going to be okay. This is such an art. I'm going to try and do little swirls when I'm all done. Kind of fancy it up. Okay, you guys tell me how I'm doing. And what I did too, I debated whether to add pecans to this. So I chopped up kind of fine, not too fine, but kind of fine, and toasted pecans. So I will just sprinkle a little bit on here. to me, if you can see any of the cake, unless you want, what is that term called? Like bear cake, bear frosting cake, or something like that. Then, but if you want frosting on your cake, and to me, if you see any bare spots, you didn't frost it enough. Well, I definitely have a little bit of frosting left over, so you could probably back off a little bit on some of it, or maybe I should have added a little bit more in between the cake. I'm always so afraid that I'm gonna run out of frosting. I mean, crazy. I'm a big fan of the saying, you know, if you have your cake, be happy. But boy, I tell you, if you have your frosting in life, it does make it a little bit sweeter. But if I have my cake, I'm happy. Okay, let's just, I don't know, I'm gonna try and make some swirls. Let's just put it this way. I have not sliced into the cake yet. I am hoping this holds up. You know, as I make this cake, I wonder, because I'm getting married in August, I wonder what kind of flavor cake Chris and I will have. That'll be kind of fun, huh? Okay, I think that's good. Do you guys think that's good? This is carrot cake in Amy Roloff's little kitchen. So from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you continue to enjoy gathering around the table. So let's just sprinkle. I want to make sure I think I'm done. Got a lot of frosting left over. Oops. Let's just sprinkle on a little bit of pecans. And you know what? You don't have to do the pecans. If you want, great. If not, that's fine too. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on. Okay, carrot cake, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. You can find this recipe on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. Thank you for joining me and watching the video. I so appreciate you guys following me on my little kitchen. So this is carrot cake from my little kitchen to yours. Enjoy. Okay, so I think the big test is right now. I got done frosting the carrot cake. I sprinkled on some toasted pecans. Let's see how it holds up. I'm so excited. I always think the first piece of cake is always the hardest. Ooh. Boy, it is definitely moist. That is for sure. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. This will be for Chris. Do you see it? I think it's luscious. Okay. Okay, this one came out a little crumbly, just because it is so, so moist. So let's see how Chris thinks it is. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. This will be for Chris. Do you see it? I think it's luscious. Okay. Okay, this one came out a little crumbly, just because it is so, so moist. So let's see how Chris thinks it is. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. This will be for Chris. Do you see it? I think it's luscious. Okay, this one came out a little crumbly, just because it is so, so moist. So let's see how Chris thinks it is. Okay, I had to have Chris join me.
She had to.
I did. So this is carrot cake, and I think this is my third attempt. So let me know what you think.
Keep trying, I always say.
I don't know, I think it's good. It's nice and moist.
Yeah. It
Say
is
it's
moist.
good regardless.
Wow.
You like it?
It is moist. Love your frosting too, but yeah, the cake is very moist. Lots of flavor, a lot of extra interesting flavors going on with it. It's like,
Well, I have cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg.
mmm.
You think there's any too much of something?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I really like the frosting because it wasn't too sweet at all, I don't think either.
No, good job.
Unless you just wanted to taste just that.
I think it's one of your best. I like all the walnuts on top too.
I do too because it adds a little crunch.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted the walnuts on top and not in the cake,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And they're toasted.
Wow.
They're just not walnut or pecans.
Good job, hon. Very good.
Okay, good. Well, it's good stuff.
But there's always room for perfection. You may want to do another 1 or 2 or 5 or 6.
I can do that.
Okay.
You know I can. So from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you give this carrot cake a try. Let me know your thoughts. But you can find this recipe and this video and all the other recipes and videos over on my YouTube channel, amyroloffslittlekitchen.com, or you can go to the website at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. Either way, the video, the recipes are there. So again, my little kitchen to yours. Enjoy gathering. Thanks, babe.
Wow. Thank you.
Okay, I did go ahead and put a lid on this to kind of make sure it was cooked in the middle a little bit more. Oh, look at that. I think that's a nice coloring to it. Look at that. I'm Amy Roloff, well, Amy, and I'm in my little kitchen. Anyway, you know what? This is pretty much a simple meal. There is definitely some prep that needs to happen. But anyway, it's kind of summer, it's warm out. Next week it's gonna be kind of cooler and rainy. So, oh, let me get the microwave. Because it keeps beeping. Here we go. I had to soften up the butter a little bit. Anyway, it's summertime, or it's late spring. It's going to be summertime. Here in Oregon, we're in the daylight saving time and all of that. Anyway, I'm making New York strip steak. It's Friday. You know, why not have a little drink? And I don't know, just kind of celebrate the weekend, really. So steak to me is very simple, unless you really want to cover it with, you know, stuff, depending on the steak you have. Basically, it's just salt and pepper or a little bit of other spices that you may want to add to it to give it a little heat, a little fire to it. I'm probably just going to do salt and pepper on this. Chris really likes a basic steak. I might add a little bit more to mine. And then I took 2 russet potatoes and I'm gonna make twice baked stuffed potatoes. Okay, while the potatoes are still cooking, I'm getting ready to prep the steaks. I couldn't resist, so I'm probably gonna add a little bit of garlic powder along with a little bit of salt and pepper on this, just to kind of really flavor the meat. Let me get it, oh, here's a fork. Oh yeah. So what I think is really good after you sear your meat and you cook your steaks, especially for a New York strip steak, or maybe even a boneless ribeye, or definitely filet mignon. if you grill it out on your grill or even on the stove, I think it's always nice to top it off with like a little flavored butter. Sometimes I use rosemary, but Chris really likes blue cheese and I had some here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take softened butter here. Kind of mash that up. It's really soft now because it's kind of warm here. I'm gonna take some crumbled blue cheese, kind of mash that in with the butter. And yes, I did use salted butter. And the one thing about this is that the blue cheese is cold, and so it has kind of helped the butter not be as soft. Okay, I think I'm gonna add a little more blue cheese. So basically, I don't know, blue cheese butter? I'm sure there's a term for this that just totally escapes my brain. There we go. So when the meat is all done, I will just put a little scoop, a little like a teaspoon scoop on it, and that'll really help flavor up the meat, and it's just a nice touch. And it goes good with beef. Okay. There we go. Just gonna salt and pepper. Get this going at least. Oh, you know what I may do? Instead of putting garlic on this, I might put garlic in the butter. That might be kind of good. Well, I'll just sprinkle a dab. Just a dab. You don't want a lot. That's enough. And I did go ahead and put a little bit in the butter. So I'm just gonna flip these over and I'm just gonna make sure they're well seasoned once I put it in the pan as well. And I usually, I mean, everyone's different, but I usually like my meat medium rare. I don't like a lot of this red, but I definitely like it that good pink color. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think this is going to be a great barbecue dinner or a few friends over or even for your family. So we're going to continue to wait till the potatoes are done because this will only take about 10 minutes and I think the potatoes may only have 10 minutes. So let's go over to the stove and start cooking this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. I've heated up this pan. Sorry if you don't hear me because I gotta turn on the fan. But and I have this pretty much on the highest heat because I really want a good sear. But if I didn't have all of this other stuff to do, I probably should have cooked it on the grill. But we're gonna do it this way. So I think on each side, probably at least 5 minutes. On a grill, that could vary, but these are pretty thick cuts. So I'm gonna say probably at least 5 minutes on each side. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, the steaks are sizzling. I think there's definitely time to flip them over. Oh yeah, look at that. We're gonna cook this for another 5 minutes. Then I think my potatoes will be done, the salad's done, and hopefully this is a good meal. I'm gonna bring you over to see this really good sear. I think it's great. It's got like a nice crust on it. Let me bring you up higher. Anyway, about another 5 minutes. We'll be ready to go. Okay, I did go ahead and put a lid on this to kind of make sure it was cooked in the middle a little bit more. Oh, look at that. I think that's a nice coloring to it. Look at that. Get some of these hand juices on it, even though I'm going to put a little bit of the butter. And I'm going to take these on over to the counter. We'll dish up. Of course, I am going to dish up Chris's plate first. I highly doubt I'm going to eat all of this meat, but it'll be good for, and then just a little dab of blue cheese butter. I'm gonna have this help me here. This, oh my goodness, lusciousness. Twice baked potato. And then we also have a green salad. So, I think this is a great summer meal, springtime, late spring into summer, I don't know what, but look at this, just lusciousness. So, this recipe and all the other recipes are over on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or you can go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com, but check it out on my YouTube channel. So thanks. These are shiitake mushrooms that I bought at the farmer's market.
Looks great.
Hey, hi! I'm Amy, and I'm in my little kitchen, so thank you for joining me. I always appreciate that. Anyway, boy, it's a Sunday. It's been kind of lazy today. I'm just writing up a bunch of recipes. I think the person that is helping me get these cooking videos out, he's got all the videos, and now I've got to do all the recipes. So that takes, for me, it takes some time because, you know, like I don't have this recipe really written up yet, but I have an idea in my mind. And so if I have it and taste it and I like it, okay, let's write this up as a recipe. And I follow a lot of people. I read a lot of cooking magazines and stuff like that. And it's just to really stimulate ideas like, oh, that's a good idea, but I want to do this and this and that to it. So anyway, I love to cook and I like to cook what I like to cook. So anyway, I don't know why I rambled on, but I did. I'm in my little kitchen. I think I mentioned to you guys earlier on, maybe I didn't, but Matt had butchered the pigs that we had raised since in the fall he had raised since the fall until late spring or something like that. So Chris and I bought into half a pig, and these are the pork chops we're gonna cook up today. And I kind of was thinking, I'm not really a fan all the time. I really have to be in the mood for this drink, and that's the Bloody Mary drink. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I really kind of like it a little spicy, but not too much. Sometimes there's too thick of tomato juice in it and not enough of, vodka or whatever. So anyway, I don't know. I was just thinking it's summertime. It's kind of cool to have a Bloody Mary drink, and I don't know. So we're going to kind of wing it on this meal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to season. This is going to be really a basic sauteing or the pork chops. And because they are a little bit thick, I think I'm going to go ahead and cover and finish the cooking in the oven and not just have them keep searing or keep baking on the stove pot. So I do have an oven-proof stove. Let's see what else. So on this, I'm going to do a little bit of garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a little bit of rosemary. I thought that would kind of bring out some of that flavor in there. And then I thought, well, I just didn't want plain pork chops, so I'm going to kind of make like a very simple mushroom kind of sauce to go over that. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil, definitely butter, And because this is kind of a Bloody Mary flair, I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit of vodka to the sauce. You know how we usually add wine? So I want some of that alcohol to cook off, but just a taste, just enough. And so I'll mince up some garlic for this because that always makes a good sauce. I was going to add cream, but I don't think I'm going to add cream. And I'm going to add a little bit of chicken broth and Worcestershire sauce. Was that right? Worcestershire sauce. Anyway, you know what I mean. So let's get going. Let's see how this goes. The salad is really kind of the Bloody Mary flair to it. So I'll bring this over here. I don't think I had the best romaine lettuce. I don't like a very thick rib to the romaine, and then you just got a little bit of green. So I made it kind of into a chopped. I chopped the romaine salad up. And then I'm gonna add tomatoes, celery, a little bit of red onion, and then the little dressing that hopefully will give a little bit of flair to a to a Bloody Mary drink. So let's get started. Okay, first we are going to get our little salad dressing going. So since it's only the two of us, you know, I don't need a lot. So I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 3. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just a couple of dribbles. And then a little bit of red wine vinegar. Again, just a couple of dribbles. Definitely some salt. And I did not have Tabasco sauce because I think typically something like that usually goes into a Bloody Mary drink, but I did not have that. So I'm just gonna use just a hint of sriracha. Oop, that's enough. I don't want to burn our mouths. And then I am just going to, can't find any of my measuring spoons. Anyway, I'm just really gonna add a dab of horseradish sauce. I mean, you know, this is gonna be a little spicy. That might not be too bad, huh? Spice up a little bit of life. Where's my pepper? And I'm just gonna do a little bit of pepper. Gonna whisk this together. Let's see how this all comes together. Okay, let me just get a little spoon. See, I bought a lot of these little taster spoons. Wow, well, it's really smooth. So let me taste it. Okay, you know what? This isn't bad. I think I need a little more salt. I think I need a little bit of everything. So I probably definitely a couple of teaspoons of the Worcestershire sauce. A little bit more of acidity. And I want a little more heat. Why isn't this going? Oop. Going now. And what else did I do? A little bit of horseradish. I was being a little bit hesitant because I didn't want to overpower it. So definitely a half a teaspoon of horseradish, a couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, maybe a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And I'm seriously just a couple of drops. Depends on your heat level of what you want the Tabasco, or because I didn't have Tabasco, I'm using sriracha. Okay. Oh dear. Use this spoon. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Okay, I'm liking this. Liking this. So our sauce is made. I'm going to, I don't know where this came from. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get my pork chops ready because they will take the longest. It's probably gonna be about 4 minutes on each side to sear. And then I'm just gonna put them in about a 325-degree oven just to finish cooking in the center. And then I think we'll be good. So, I mean, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes, I hope. So, let me get my pan over here going and I'll start doing the mushrooms and the onions. No, the mushrooms, sauteing that with a little butter sauce and a little vodka, a little olive oil. Oh, chicken broth. Ooh, it's gonna be all good. Okay. Get that pan heated up. And get another pan for the mushrooms. Again, I really don't want a lot of sauce, but I just thought the mushroom or the pork chops just needed a little bit something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of salt on this, the top layer here. And a little bit of garlic powder. Just a little bit of rosemary. I'm gonna kind of crush it in between my fingers as best I can. Then I'll finish the rest of it over there. I think there's gonna be a lot of flavor into this dish. I know, one of these days I'm gonna get another camera so I don't have to keep going back and forth and all of that other craziness. Okay, so let's go to the stove. Okay, my pan is definitely hot, I believe. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of the fan on because if not, my kitchen will smoke up like there's no tomorrow. Because there might have been a little bit of water on the meat, maybe one reason why it's smoking a little bit. So a little bit of salt, oops, garlic, rosemary, and pepper. I've got another clean plate. Got another clean plate over here. See? Ooh. Okay, I think that's a nice sear, you guys. You think? I think so. Just give that a couple of minutes. I turned down the heat a little bit because I think my pan was a little bit too hot. Okay, let's see. I think these sides are done, so I'm just going to put them over here so I can cook the remaining two. And then I'm going to put this pan into the oven, and like I said, it's only 300 degrees because they're not going to take that long to so I'm just going to salt and pepper the remaining two pork chops here. I'm doing this, whoa, doing too much rosemary came out. Okay, here we go. Boy, I tell you, grease scares me sometimes. Or I should say hot oil. Go over there and wipe my hands off for a minute. Put some salt on this side. I forgot to put pepper on the other side, but that's okay. You just want a little bit of rosemary, because I think rosemary is a strong herb. So really, it's only like 2 to 3 minutes on each side, because I'm doing the rest of the cooking in the oven. Okay, let's check it out. Where do I keep losing my tongs. Oh, here they are. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. There we go. Yeah, nice sear. I'm trying to use my cast iron a little bit more because I love my Le Creuset dishes and pans and Dutch ovens and pots and fry pans, saute pans. But I definitely love a cast iron, and so I'm just learning a little bit more to cook more often with it and how to do that. Okay. I'm going to turn the fan off. I'm going to see if I can show this to you. So yeah, see? I think that's pretty good. I guess I could have just went like this. Oh, brothers. See? I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to turn this off now. And I'm going to make room for the other pork chops so that they can finish cooking inside. It'll be a little tight, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, there we go. And if you notice, I turned off the heat, but cast iron definitely keeps its heat. So I'm just going to put a little foil around it. Keep the heat in. There we go. We're going to put this in the oven. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do saute the mushrooms. And the one thing I'm not going to do, I'm just going to put the mushrooms in here. There's not a lot. These are shiitake mushrooms, and I bought these at the local farmer's market. I did not put any salt in here because I didn't want it to be, I'm hoping to brown these a little bit. So we shall see. I mean, look at that. They're already kind of brown to begin with, but the rest of them, but you know what I mean. And they'll definitely absorb the oil. So I'm just going to let these cook for a minute or two before I add the butter and the garlic. Okay. Okay, I think my mushrooms have browned a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and add a little butter. I'm going to say at least 2 tablespoons because I want to create a nice sauce. I just turned down the heat a little bit. I'm going to add in my garlic. Make sure all that is out of there. While the pan is still a little bit hot, here goes the special something. There's one. Okay, 2 tablespoons of vodka. With the pan still being hot. I'll cook it down some. I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth. Maybe about 1/4 cup. Because I don't have a lot of mushrooms in here. I'm just gonna let that kind of thicken up a little bit. Give it a little taste first. Yeah. A little bit of salt now. A little bit of pepper. And I think, doesn't take that long. I might add a little bit of cream. Oh yeah, this is really good. My goodness, a little vodka. I think a lot of it evaporated, but there's a little hint of it, maybe just a hint. If I was cooking for more people, I probably would have added 1/4 cup. Yeah, that'll just be enough cream. Okay. It's gonna turn this up just a little bit to help it thicken. And there we go. Can you guys see that? Swirling around a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Bring you guys around here for a little bit. Here we go. I just put in a little bit of cream, not a lot. But I think it tastes good. Okay, my pork chops are done. I'm gonna dish up Chris first because I'm hoping he's hungry.
Yes, I'm hungry.
Are you? Well, come on over here. I'm just gonna give you 1 pork chop for now, babe, or?
Well, yeah. One at a time, huh?
So I'm hoping these are good. I'm hoping I didn't cook them too long.
They look good. They smell good.
And then I've got a vodka infused mushroom sauce. How do you like that?
Well, you know I like mushrooms. I've never had vodka infused mushrooms.
Well, you're not really gonna taste the vodka in this, so.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Well, all the alcohol.
So what does the vodka do, though? It must provide a little flavor of some sort.
Yeah, a little flavor, a little acidity to it, yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's vodka tomato sauce, pasta sauce for...
Really? I didn't know that.
I probably have the wrong spoon for this. Man. These are shiitake mushrooms that I bought at the...
You got more in yours.
At the farmer's market.
Ah. Looks great.
Okay, you guys, so here we go. Here is pork chops with a mushroom vodka sauce, garlic sauce. How about that? Maybe that's the title I should give it. Anyway, you can find this recipe over on my YouTube channel at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. And so from my little kitchen to yours, thank you for joining me. And so keep gathering around the table with family, friends, or in the kitchen, but keep enjoying baking and cooking. So thanks for coming, or I should say thanks for joining me. Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. I'm gonna go ahead and eat. I'll try and get a few more photos, but I can't hold them off any longer. So this is Bolognese sauce over pasta. Well, hi, I'm Amy Roloff, and I'm in my little kitchen. It is Sunday today, a gorgeous day. I kind of wish I was outside, but we're having some friends over, Chris and I thought I would try and make Bolognese. I think that's right. That is very good Italian sauce that you put over pasta. And I will tell you this, because it's a variation of what we would call our basic meat sauce that we make here. You know, it's not that I'm an Italian cook or anything. So I had to go ask Lisa, you know, red or white wine, or there's so many different things out there, just little slight variations to all of these different recipes. So this is gonna kind of be my take on it. I think because I am using beef, some of these more traditional Bolognese sauce, especially I think in the middle or up north of Italy, they use more of a white wine. I'm gonna go ahead and use a red wine because I am using beef. I didn't exactly have just pork, so my recipe is gonna say just ground pork. But here, because it was in the fridge, it's a slight kind of like Italian pork. So anyway, I'm not gonna really add any spices to it. So I got done cooking up the beef and the pork. Now I'm gonna, so there's pancetta in here. You've got kind of that mixture because you're making this type of sauce. I've got onions, carrots, and celery all right here. They're all cut up. And you know I don't cut onions when I'm doing a video because it makes my eyes water and looks like I'm just crying and having an absolute miserable time, which I'm not. My biggest debate is tomato paste. But if you're gonna add a can of crushed tomatoes with their juice, I think you need something to help thicken it up, even if it does cook for a long time. I mean, so much will evaporate, but I think you need a little bit of tomato paste in order to thicken it up a little bit. So I will add tomato paste to this Bolognese sauce. In fact, I really can't wait to maybe one day in my lifetime, before I die, actually go to that part of Italy. Because I've been to the key elements, Rome, Venice, Florence. Rome, Venice, Florence. I think that's it. Those three major tourists, but I'd love to go to southern Italy or in Tuscany. Anyway, that's a side note, people. So I think what I'm going to do now, I've already cooked my meat because this sauce should cook at least for a couple hours, really on low and simmer, so all the flavors and everything can just kind of meld together, and it helps evaporate some of the water in the sauce. So I'm going to cut up pancetta, which is kind of like Italian bacon. I'm gonna cut that up a little bit in little bits and pieces. We're gonna get that going in the saucepan. And then after I brown up this pancetta, then we're gonna go ahead with the carrots, the onions, and the celery. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna cut this up. Because you want everything to have a little bits and pieces. This is going to cook up really quick. I don't have it as thin as you might get pancetta in the store. So you can have it cut a little bit thicker as well. That way you have more heartier pieces. It's hard to cut this when it's not cold. And I kind of think I'm gonna like this. It's been a long time since I kind of officially made this sauce. I would have to say a long time. Or let's put it this way. It's been a long time since I've really paid attention into what really goes into making this Bolognese sauce. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Any of you out there that's, you know, truly Italian and have that Italian history and cooking with grandma and your mom and stuff. I do apologize if I'm totally obliterating that word. I have a tendency to do that, and to tell you the truth, I have no idea why. Okay, well, I'll be able to break up some of this when it gets in there. Okay, we've got that going, so we're gonna head on over to the stove, get this cooking. It won't take very long, and then we'll get going on the rest. Okay, so I'm cooking up the pancetta here. It'll take a while because, you know, it's like bacon, so a lot of the grease, or a lot of the fat, I should say, is going to be cooking down. So it'll take a little bit in order for it to get crisp. But you don't want to go too fast. So it's browning up here a little bit. So we have, I don't know, maybe about 5 more minutes to go. Okay, I took out my pancetta, and this was probably about 4 to 6 slices. I feel like I would like to add a little bit more, but 4 to 6. So we're just gonna saute these onions up a little bit. I just drained a little bit of the grease. But we're just gonna cook these until, sorry, the fan was on, people, because it gets kind of crazy in here. Anyway, the pancetta. This is about 4 to 6 slices. I feel like I should add more, but I'm just gonna leave it here. And so right now I'm just sauteing, cooking down the onions a little bit. So until they just become translucent. I'll bring you over here. And I left, you know, the grease in there. But yeah, this will cook down for a little bit. Then I'll add the carrots and the celery. This sauce definitely goes in stages. As I'm looking at the clock, I'm hoping I can get the rest of the stages done in about 15 minutes. So we're just going to turn on the heat just a little bit, get rid of some of this grease. Oh yeah, I think the thing I forgot to mention was you want to cut up your vegetables in very tiny little pieces. You don't want these big, huge chunks of onion, celery, and carrots. And look at this. Guess what I didn't do? So we're gonna go back to the kitchen counter and chop up my carrots and celery. Oops. So I'm gonna turn this down and then go back to what I forgot to do. Okay, my onions are still sauteing over there, as I mentioned. Silly me, I sliced them up, but I forgot to chop up the carrots and the celery into, you know, just really as fine of a chop as you can get without using a food processor. And you know what, people, this probably would be easier in a food processor. But as I mentioned before, I don't know, I just like the feel of doing a lot of this stuff by hand. But boy, I tell you, a food processor and all those other little gadgets definitely make life a little easier and probably a little quicker in the kitchen. And I do have a food processor, that's the funny thing. One of these days, because it is very badly needed, I'm gonna clean out my pantry and kind of reorganize it. And maybe if I put the food processor down a little bit lower, instead of having to climb on a ladder to get things, I would probably use it a little bit more, but we'll see. Okay, I've got this little bunch. I think that's good. So we'll cut up the rest of the carrots. And I've got the temperature on the pot over here on low because I don't want the onions to overcook without getting this stuff in there with it. Okay. I'm just going to keep Yeah, the one thing about this though, it kind of bounces off the cutting board. The carrots go on the floor. Too bad Felix doesn't like carrots that much. What in the world? I'm trying not to go too fast so all the carrots don't end up on the floor. I mean, we definitely don't want that. Okay, I think I've got these cut fine enough. Okay, there we go. Let me cut up the celery. Okay. And how many carrots did I have? I had one really big carrot, because you know how when you buy packages of carrots, sometimes the carrots are big, sometimes they're medium, or kind of have to use more than one. So I used one very big, one big one, and then kind of one small one. So it really depends on the carrots. I would say 1 to 2 carrots. And then again, it really depends on how many people you're feeding. I'm sure we're going to have leftovers here, which, tell you the truth, I have no problem in that. I think the one thing I love about leftovers sometimes, it helps me to catch up on writing all of these recipes. Because I do fall behind. And I get so mad at myself. I got to go over it and make sure I captured everything, right? Measurements and all that stuff. Just like how I forgot to cut the carrots and the celery. Okay, we're gonna dump the carrots in the pan. We're gonna turn up the heat a little bit, let that cook for a second, because I don't think the celery is gonna take that long. So I'll see you over there. I forget that these ceramic pans, but anyway, carrots and onions are cooking up here very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and add in the celery. And I'm going to go ahead and chop up some garlic, because I forgot to do that too. Here I thought I was going to be all prepared for you guys. So I'm just going to let this cook up for a minute. Why I go cut up about 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, you probably can't see the garlic on here because of the orange part of the cutting board here from the carrots. But anyway, I have about 2 larger cloves and 2 smaller ones. So I would say 2 large cloves, or maybe 2 to 3 cloves. It all depends. But don't overpower it with garlic. That's not from what I read and from what I gather, garlic is not the most powerful thing in this whole dish. I think it's the simmering of the sauce. I think it's the, adding just that hint of cream, a little bit of cream, kind of balances out the acidity of the, tomato paste, tomato sauce. Then you got that nice richness of red wine. Like I said, I debated whether to add red or white wine because I have tomatoes and tomato paste, but so I don't know. I think next time maybe I'll try it with red wine and see how that goes. But for today, we're gonna have red wine. And just a little bit of tomato paste. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in these chopped garlic in my pan over here. So, okay, things are cooking nicely. Okay. Just gonna make a little center in here. Add the pancetta, get that warmed up. I don't want to make sure I don't burn the garlic, so I'm going to keep stirring it around. Pancetta's been added. Now we're going to go ahead and add all of this lusciousness meat. And I think once the wine gets in here, it will slowly break down and cook the meat. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and get the, oh no, I have it right here. So I just wanna show you. Some of you guys probably have done this yourselves, but that's what it looks like so far. So I'm gonna add in the tomato paste, get the meat, all the veggies coated with it. But also this will help cook it down a little bit, kind of give it that rustic feel, flavor to it. You know me, I want to make sure I get every little bit out of my can, out of the can. So we're gonna kind of, I want to make sure that the meat and everything gets coated with this tomato paste. That way it's not all in one big clump, but it's getting kind of like cooked in to the meat, adding all of these flavors together. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, this is what it looks like. We'll just let this go on for a few more minutes. Then I'm going to, what am I going to do next? I'm going to add in the wine, get the wine flavored. So really, what I've really learned about this sauce is that the sauce goes in layers, and that helps build in the flavors and build it up to this nice, rich, hearty sauce. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in the wine. This is from a local winery, Dauntless. I just found them out, and so because I think if you drink wine, you should add it into your cooking as well. Because if you add red wine or white wine, but you actually don't drink it, I'm not quite sure why the food would taste the best. So, we're going to add in a cup of wine. Oh dear. Oh yeah, there we go. So about a cup. Here we go. I'm going to turn up the heat just slightly, just so the wine has a chance to be incorporated, but also kind of cook off some of that alcohol. So this will probably, I don't know, take another like 10 minutes. In fact, I think while this is cooking down, just a little bit more. Oh, man, you can just smell it. So good. I think I'm gonna pour myself a glass. There we go. Set it over here. Okay. I think the wine has cooked down. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. It's definitely looking rich. I love it. So good. Okay, so I'm gonna add in 1 can, 28 ounces of crushed and then I'm just gonna add 1 cup of chicken stock or chicken broth and a bay leaf, because we can always add more chicken stock to loosen up the sauce if it becomes too soft. There we go. I'm going to continue to cook this on medium-high for just a minute. Then I'm going to turn it down to a low simmer. And this should sit and cook and simmer. Oh, and then I'm going to add a bay leaf. This, I would say at least an hour, 2 to 3 is better. But I may not have 3 hours right now. So I'm going to take what I can get. So I added 2 bay leaves. Just push that down a little bit so some of the flavors can kind of meld in there. I'm gonna tip it up and show you guys. Okay. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I'm kind of worried about that now. I have a tendency to overthink and not think about putting some stuff in here. So I think this is gonna be okay. So yeah, I'll just keep this on medium-high just for about 3 more minutes, and then it's going to be turned down. Oh. Ooh, smells so good. I hope this will turn out well. Well, I'm just going to finish up the sauce here because I think our pasta is almost done. So I'm going to add maybe about, I don't know, a half a cup. And really what the cream does, it kind of softens up the acidity from the tomato sauce, tomato paste, and stuff like that. So we're just gonna oh yeah, look at that. So it's not, I wouldn't call it like a cream sauce. So we're just gonna kind of, and my pasta is almost done. So we're just gonna let this, what else was it? Oh yeah, cheese. I forgot, I gotta add Parmesan cheese. And I'm just going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then I'll also, I think I was supposed to do this. I'm trying to be as authentic. If you're not supposed to do it right now, I'm not going to add a lot. I think this will be a good topping for it. Then I'll just chop up some parsley. Okay, there we go. Put this away, and then I'm going to chop up some parsley. Okay, our friends are here. We're getting ready to eat. So you can find this recipe and all of the others at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and eat. I'll try and get a few more photos, but I can't hold them off any longer. So this is Bolognese sauce over pasta. And next time I might try it with white wine. But anyway, give it a try. So keep gathering around the table and enjoy that time. So again, thank you for following me. Thank you for being in my little kitchen. So from my little kitchen to you, enjoy. Okay, this is the part that I always forget to do on my videos because a lot of you guys have been asking, do I actually eat the food? And yes, I do. What I'm making for you is pretty much what we're eating that day, that evening, whatever it may be. So, yes, this is good. In fact, I really love these noodles. Mmm. I think the cream sauce really balances out the tomato, the acidity of that. And I think the way you cook the meat for this sauce is really, really good. In fact, I'm going to tell you the noodle. Oh yeah, see this word right there? Bucatini. Bucatini. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce the noodle, but I tell you, I like this noodle. It is thick, it is hearty, especially when I couldn't find the one that starts with the T, Taligate, or whatever that is. The really nice, hearty, or wide, flat noodles. It's different from an egg noodle. Anyway, that word right there. Good noodle for this sauce. Anyway, I'm going to continue eating because Chris is over at the table eating and enjoying it. And I'm going to have a salad with it too. So give it a try. In fact, here is Chris. Chris, can you just say hi? Do you like it, babe?
I can't say hi, I'm eating.
That means it's good, right?
It's very good. Excellent.
That means it's a thumbs up, everyone. So go check out my YouTube channel, AmyRoloffLittleKitchen.com, and go ahead and make some of this.